Hello, future.
Welcome, friends of all designs, to FMVGames, and welcome to the Echo Chamber!
That's good. Acoustics.
It's good for us. I don't know how it sounds in the mics,
yeah.
but
well, I think Paul, this episode you should try to just keep it down just a little
Mr.
bit.
Producer looked very happy when we cried, so that was good. Also good us having our laptop sound on during the intro.
We're classy.
Very good
Keeping
work.
it professional.
So welcome to the World of Warships podcast, James.
Yeah. So how great is World of Warships, Paul?
It's 10 out of 10.
How many warships out of 10?
I would say at least 17 beers out of 10.
So, all right, now that we're giant corporate sellouts.
Well, you're jumping straight to it. I was just going to leave it in the background.
Oh,
for a
okay,
while.
all right. I mean, no.
Or we'll do our intro banter.
Yeah, okay.
How you been, James?
Yeah, pretty good.
I noticed the bacon hat has continued.
Yeah, it's me peacocking.
Yeah. On the weekend, James was presenting at Comic-Con.
Yep.
And I didn't attend because I'm a great friend. But I did notice in the pictures, bacon hat still persisted.
Oh yeah, it's my thing. I've got a brand. It's all about the brand, Paul. The personal brand. Like you and your shirts.
Me and always wearing a shirt. You know that's a lie. I do not always wear shirts.
That's true.
It's more regular than the pants, I guess, but still. Okay,
Yes.
I'm such an adult. I organised a home loan today, insurance of multiple types,
Yes.
accounts, and
I signed up for the GST.
oh,
Yeah, like a businessman.
like a good businessman.
Yeah.
I have nothing to say on that.
No, it's not
And
that exciting.
all hail our glorious new leader, Turnbull Abbott. Good to see you.
You reckon he watches?
Watches?
Yeah.
What?
He watches the show.
Oh, I don't think Malcolm.
No,
is
just
into-
watches in general.
Oh, does he like watches? Yes.
Overseas.
Yes. Let's get political for a second. I've really enjoyed. My wife was allowed to sabotage my life in one way, and she chose to do it by making me like the Facebook page of Christopher Pine. This has filled me with great joy over the last few days, as I've discovered the people that are very upset about Libspill 2015 like to call Malcolm Turnbull Malcolm Turdbull.
Oh, burn.
And of course, Bishop is Bitchip.
Ooh,
These are the very hurt liberal loyalists.
That is a sick burn.
Average age at least 40 too. So that's all I have to say about politics. Great news. So, but now on to the matter of the day.
Yes.
Delicious World of Warships. Oh, I turned it the wrong way. There. Oh, so delicious. Let me taste your.
Ooh. Paul, you look at. Would you say that made the water better?
I'm highly satisfied.
Yeah.
Tell you what, this has been actually a really good drink bottle. Thank you, World of Warships. So, why we're selling out today is because I attended the launch of World of Warships in Australia, which was fun. And some of that night,
Yes.
we played World of Warships.
Okay, now I felt a little bad because we interviewed some of the team at PAX.
Yes.
And it was they were nice guys. We had a good chat.
And we had no idea what they were talking about.
And it got to the end of the interview, and they're like, "Do you want to see the game?" And we were like, "Nah, we're good.
Not really.
Thanks."
This time I sat down, and not only did I get there, they brought in some players to instruct us on how to play. What I loved, they'd obviously been trained to make us feel good as media. So, is this really your first time? You're doing so well.
Nice.
Very. The way that I could use Wasad and use a hotbar, amazing.
I've played World of Tanks and I've
Yes.
played World of Planes.
Different company, son of a bitch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so how does it work? I actually don't know much about how it works.
So World of Warships is like World of Tanks. It is an online multiplayer game where you're doing military vehicles, in this case, warships. So you're going from your little cruisers up into your aircraft carriers. So general gameplay is you are controlling a ship, and we have some footage up here, which is not me playing because I was playing at an event and I didn't have any ability to record there. This is just a promotional video. But ships going around the ocean, shooting the shit out of each other. That's the very basics of it. It's less accessible than World of Tanks, I would say, because World of Tanks you get to play a lot more with the geography of the landscape around you. World of Warships, there's an ocean, there's someone 12 kilometers away, and you're taking pot shots at them.
Okay, yeah.
But if you know how to lead and how to use your weapons and how to position right, almost any ship can be one-shotted.
Okay.
Very difficult to do.
What about things like icebergs and things like that? Like, do they play into it?
You have to be pretty dumb to run into any land.
No, but like for cover and ambushes and stuff. Like,
Yes.
Is there strategies where
Considering there's torpedoes and different sort of guns, using small islands for coverage makes sense, especially, and this is where the game gets really quite different, is the largest ship, the aircraft carrier, actually is played completely differently. While the other ships play sort of like very slow maneuvering tanks, it is a strategy game where you send out planes and you refuel planes.
Okay.
And you tell them to patrol certain areas and come in at certain vectors. And you can do some dastardly things, but your main way of attacking is via planes, which you don't have a direct sort of...
So it's a big part of this, because it's like World of Tanks, you might be in the bushes or something and you fire at it. Is this more about timing the torpedoes? Because they move slow?
Certainly every weapon has lead time and you need to do that. There's no automatic firing on someone, which keeps it as an action game. But I think really for this game to start being very satisfying, it really requires heavy teamwork.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, it's quite pretty. Actually, the one thing that...
I think you probably need to be a bit of a warship nerd.
No.
You reckon?
You learn. I was actually talking to a lot of people that played a World of Tanks as well, and that's with World of Tanks you can enjoy it without giving a crap about tanks. Okay. Because you've at least briefly played World of Tanks.
Yeah, it's alright. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't need to know what a Panzer is or a Dragoon.
There's something pretty comical about World of Tanks, because it's like...
Panzer Dragoon isn't a tank, James.
Because you've got, it's like 12 on 12 or whatever it is, and it's just like suddenly all these tanks just like start screaming towards each other.
Yeah.
Tanks, like just kind of, it's a little bit silly.
Oh, and then somehow I've spliced in some Grow Home into the footage there. Good work, Paul.
Nothing like that. We go.
World of Tanks is gold. But anyway, the one thing that I would like to see
submarines.
No.
Did anyone ask for submarines?
James, we can't talk about submarines.
Okay, all right.
No, the submarines don't work anyway. Submarines, just like in real life, are OP. What do you do about submarines? Get killed. That's about it. But the one thing is, when you're shooting on another ship, you assume, as I say, you're shooting something that might be 12 plus kilometers away. You can get much closer, but if you're looking through sort of the sights at this thing 12 kilometers away, you don't really have a situational awareness of what's happening in your ship. So I kind of like a little bit more focus on that. And even then, I was talking to someone else that was playing it during the week, just because it has launched now. You can just go and download it and play it. It's free to play. That it actually would be great if there were little people on the ships.
Well, it seems like having multiple people on the one ship potentially cool, because you talk about situational awareness.
No, I just mean little figures running around.
Oh, you want actually little people running around?
I want to see little soldiers screaming.
Probably ups the rating.
Oh, it'd be good. It'd be good. But it is very much, you have a set turn time on all of your turrets and everything. So,
it's more like kind of Burnout Paradise, where it's just a world populated by sentient warships.
Yeah. And more planes.
Delicious water.
Not as good as the water from the World of Warships. But yes, World of Warships, pretty warshipy.
Yeah.
I'd give it a go.
All right, so if you're going to pick one.
I am planning to play World of Warships with some friends this weekend.
So, because have you played all the three of the planes, trains?
Remember, one of the ones you're talking about isn't by this company.
Yeah, but still the same universe.
The world.
The war. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I pick Valiant Hearts then, because you get to piss on a rag.
I didn't get to that part.
No. I would say solo play. I play World of Tanks.
Yep.
Playing with a group of people.
What's the name of that? Like it's probably a lot like World of Warships, but like big space ships. Dreadnought.
Dreadnought. Yeah.
Yes, I want to play that one. When are they doing World of Dreadnought?
Well, that would just be Dreadnought. It doesn't need to be a world of anything.
I want World of something.
You've got World of Warcraft. You can play that. You've got World of Guns. We played that.
We do. That was pretty good.
No, it wasn't. It was a bad game.
It was
arguably not a game.
Yes, I'd agree.
So, if you all enjoy World of Mathematics, brought to you by Heath Ledger, check that out.
What the hell?
I don't know, you just want World of everything. Yeah. He probably did some education specials in his younger days. He's a good boy. Okay, so what have you been playing this week, James? And be sure to follow the list
Oh, we have to go on. There's a list. I played Armadillo. That's what I played. That's next, right?
Yeah.
Yes, good.
What's that like?
Okay, so Armadillo is from the Melbourne team, League of Geeks. God, I hope I got that right. Which is their kind of virtual board game.
Yes.
Which I actually like to think of it as some kind of like condensed Civ. Like it kind of, when I play it, I get a lot of the same feelings of Civ, but on a much smaller scale. Because it's sort of like still hex-based to get around.
So other than being hexes, how is it like Civ?
Well, the way you move through the world is quite like the scale of everything. It's like Civ. Like it's got that exaggerated size of the units compared to the tile.
It sounds like a board game.
You guess.
See, I'm just trying to really push your Civ explanation comparison, other than you just trying to get Civ cred.
No, I am actually going somewhere with the Civ thing. The presentation's really good. It looks really nice. There's some really interesting board game mechanics in there.
Such as?
Well, they've got, like Civ, there's multiple ways to win.
Oh,
there's like,
or like many board games.
Like, God damn you, Paul. Okay, so there's the combat victory where you take down the king, or there's the prestige victory where someone tries to take out the king and fails. If you've got the most prestige, you win. There's the rot victory where you basically get corrupted.
Sounds a lot like Mousetrap.
the rot victory Mousetrap.
That's when you just get the mouse like stuck somewhere and it rots to death.
So you've got this kind of different victory conditions, and each of the different classes you play, the characters you play, have sort of different things they kind of can specialize at. Like you might have someone who's a bit better at combat, or someone's a bit better at prestige. The way the prestige system works is you can do things throughout the world, like different quests and stuff, that will earn you prestige. Killing other players will earn you prestige. And if you have the most prestige at any given time, then you can basically make a decision at the beginning of every turn which will affect the play. So you might say everyone needs to pay 1 gold, and if you can't, you lose a prestige or something. So you get some kind of sway over what's going on. The way the game basically works is you start off in a corner of the map. I think it's up to like 4 characters can play at once. And you have to you have a quest at any given time, and the quest forces you to move around the map. So it's like, you need to get here to complete this quest. So you need to move backwards and forwards. And then by doing that, there'll be rewards and stuff at the end. And so the idea is to get one of those victories, one of those 4 victories or 5, whatever it is. The biggest problem I've had with it so far is that one of the very first things you do in Civ when you load up that game is you go to the options and you turn on fast animations.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to sit there watching all the animations. This game doesn't have that. So I played a game, I'm like, this is really fun, I really like it. And it ended, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to play it again. How do I skip those animations so I can make this game 15 minutes instead of an hour? And I couldn't find it. Like, it's not there. It's requested. You go to the Steam forums, people want it. And I'm really hoping to get it in, because it honestly stopped me from playing the game. But yeah, it's like this weird oversight. Can't skip it. It's slow, pacing's all off.
Okay, so I guess my question is, whenever any board game is made, does it being a video game make it better? Other than just ease of play and presentation.
I'm trying to think what it does that would be better. I would say this game would work just fine as a card game. I actually would probably prefer playing the physical version, mainly because I could yell at someone to hurry the fuck up, because I want my turn.
But what if they've gone to the bathroom? You can't speed that up. You can't set that up in the options. Turn off bathroom breaks, just piss your pants. It's not going to happen.
This game, it works off hidden information. Like, you have a deck, so you can't really do couch play with it. It doesn't really work. So you can only really play online. And if you're playing online, unless you're all on voice chat or something, you can't really talk. And if you're on voice chat, maybe you should just come around to someone's house and play it, maybe.
I like board games with people.
I don't know. It's a good question whether or not it justifies being on there. I think it's really well done. Like, it's very polished, looks really nice. I do want to just load it up and have that kind of 15-minute experience where I just play through a game and it's over and that's great. But that's really held back by the fact I have to watch the animations every time. I want to be able to skip them.
Why do you hate animators? What if you've never seen the animation before?
Well, that's great. You watch it once and then you.
But how you don't know until.
Because the turns are really short. Like, it's like you move like 3 blocks and play a card.
And how long are the animations?
More than that.
More than
And
the
you, like,
short
it's the
term
kind of
plan.
thing where when it's not your turn, you may go make a sandwich.
Is that just because of animations, or is that AI thinking as well?
Well, no, the AI thinking it's not fast.
Yeah,
It's-
okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, that's all fine. Really great game. I really, really enjoyed it. I got it on PS4. I felt a bit sad that it wasn't on PlayStation Plus because it was up to...
It was up for the vote of the
for
free
the vote.
game this month.
Yeah, yeah.
Between Zombie Vikings, was it
Amarillo.
Amarillo?
Amarillo.
Yeah, and Grow Home, which Grow Home got voted up, which I was very sad about because it came out on PC like 8 months ago, and I
Yeah.
played it already. I was like, oh. But actually, speaking of board games,
Yes.
the game that did make it work is, of course, Jackbox Party Pack.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
And did you see this week they announced a new game coming to the Jackbox Party Pack 2,
Which is?
which is called Bomb Corp.
All right.
Which is, well, it's kind of like Space Team, but trying to defuse a bomb together in a group scenario. So it's a less board gamey one than their other ones. It's a little bit more action driven.
See, I think it's interesting comparing it to the Jackbox stuff.
Yeah.
Because Jackbox stuff is games that really embrace the fact it's digital.
Yeah.
And they use it really well. So like Amarillo, I don't know if you can really say it does the same thing. Like I would actually happily play
What
that.
do you think the furry appeal is?
It's pretty high. The animation, like the actual animation, because they have like animated cutscenes.
Yeah.
They're really pretty. Like it's really nice. Nice menus. So I did have some usability issues with the menus. Stuff
Okay.
that I thought was highlighted but wasn't highlighted. It's me nitpicking on UI.
You see, and now, instead of using the natural segue that we had in that conversation,
To Grown Home, we're gonna go back to it.
because I wanted to talk about Jackbox, because I'm a big Jackbox fanboy, now we're going to go back to Grow Home, because this week I have been very, very busy.
Yes.
Very,
By
very stressed.
Doing adult things.
Being an adult, it's terrible. But I've got a pile of new games to play, and I've gone through with some of them actually had technical problems, and I couldn't get things recording and things playing properly. I'm like, screw it. I want to just relax and play something simple and beautiful. And because it was free on PS4, I thought, you know what, I'll look at the PS4 version. I'll play Grow Home again. And admittedly, I didn't finish Grow Home the first time I played it. I sort of climbed up for a while, got the mechanics. This is all right. This is fine. I get it. I'll come back to it later.
Yeah.
I never really did. So I've played through most of it now. I mean, it's only like 4 hours long, so it's not a huge time, but it's nice and relaxing. But there's something about playing it on the PS4.
It looks like World of Warships to me.
I remember this from before. There's something about playing it this time that I just really got into the actions of climbing.
How
and
much is this
navigating
game
around.
like Mount Your Friends?
Not very much like Mount Your Friends. I'd say no more than 80% like Mount Your Friends.
Okay.
But I do give everything a pretty standard Mount Your Friends high score by default. So if you're not aware of the game, you're playing a little robot called Bud? Bud or Buzz? I can't remember.
No, that's cute.
And the game's very much driven by systems. So this was an Ubisoft team that sort of went off to make a little indie thing, and they're playing around with climbing. And you can see why Ubisoft might be interested in some different climbing mechanics.
But they've got a bit of a history with climbing.
Yeah. In this, it's very manual climbing, so you actually have to use left trigger and right trigger to grip. So it's almost like an Ico thing like that.
Is that going to come to Assassin's Creed?
it would really slow down the game. It's like, oh, I better get it now. Left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand.
But it can use like the bumpers and the triggers for feet.
Oh yeah. That would work really, really well. So the entire game is collecting these little crystals, and then as you move up,
You are a collection hall.
you're growing this like big beanstalk, and you have to you get onto different parts of the beanstalk which you can grow, and then you ride them. And even though you're not driving a bomb down, it always reminds me of riding the bomb in Strangelove. But you're just riding this phallic bean out to penetrate an island with a crystal on it. And I just wanted a yeehaw coming out of it. There's little animals around.
Dodo.
Yeah.
It's cute.
You try to pick
Funny
him up.
because they're extinct.
Try to pick him up. Come
Picking
on.
up your little dodo friend. We're going on an adventure.
And I just had a great time. And the fact that it's not as powerful, like my PC is more powerful than a PS4.
Yeah.
But it really didn't suffer any detriment being on the PS4. It looks pretty goddamn nice.
It looks
still.
like it's like pushing the technical limits of modern
Well,
hardware.
It's the geometry, no, but there's a lot of geometry and really long view distances, and all the animation is driven by systems. So you can stumble and fall and pick yourself up, and the lighting is very nice. There's weather systems that go through it. It's just a beautiful little game to play.
There's jetpacks too.
There's jetpacks.
I love the shit out of jetpacks.
There's flying around on things. There's lots of little things to discover and play around with, and physics puzzles.
I really enjoy how he's like clunky, how he gets around.
Yeah, he's a clunky little robot.
But it still looks manageable.
Oh, yeah. Like, very few times do you just find yourself in like, you'll fall off something, and, well, if you're not close enough to float to something or glide to something, or you don't have a tool to do it, you will just fall to your death.
How forgiving is it if you fall to your death? How far do you have to go back?
Well, there's checkpoints all the way up.
Okay.
So, you know, in real time, at any time, maybe you're like 2 minutes physical work from getting to the next checkpoint. So it doesn't really take that long, except you're normally exploring around and there's lots of things to do. So you don't normally take a direct 2-minute line to that. Yeah, it's a great game. Because I like it way more than I did the first time I played it. And I thought it was really good the first time. But now I just sort of revisit it, it's like, this is just an excellent chill out.
It looks like there's lots of stuff to discover and
it's just stuff to play with. And as I say, gorgeous. And just the character is... He's just full of charm.
Yeah.
As Ben would say if he still had something to do with the show.
Oh, I miss Ben.
There's so much charm.
There's charm.
Yeah.
Charm up the wazoo.
Love it. So hey, it's still free at the moment. So if you've got PS Plus,
which
go
you
and
should
grab
have.
it.
You've got a PlayStation.
Yeah.
Or you should probably have PlayStation Plus.
You probably should. Okay. So also this week, TGS.
Yes.
2015. A bunch of announcements. We got some of them to talk about. Not all of them, but some of them.
We'll talk about
so
some
first
stuff.
up, Gravity Rush, known as Gravity Days in Japan, which was a Vita exclusive, is being ported to PS4. So the original game's coming out, but also Gravity Rush 2, Gravity Days 2, if you can't work out that substitution, is also coming to PS4, not coming to Vita. They have dropped Vita support.
Yeah, I mean, Vita is I love my Vita.
We've got footage up from Gravity Days 2, and you look at it and go like, well, that's not coming with a Vita.
Yeah.
Nah, and that's all right. I really did, because you played Gravity Rush?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I really liked that game. I thought it was great. The whole ability of being able to direct where gravity's going to rush through the streets and land on different platforms.
I don't know if I want VR support for this or not.
No, you do not want VR support for this. It'll make you do VOMs everywhere. And otherwise, it's third-person action game. It's really stylish and really cool. And it has a different sort of aesthetic. The aesthetic kind of reminds me a little bit like just the tone and art style, like Valkyria Chronicles.
Yeah.
Remember, like just those sort of softer tones in the 3D. Sorry, what were you saying?
Oh yeah, I like the neon glow around the character. Yeah, I'm wondering how the controls will feel, because the game always felt very built around the Vita.
Yes.
So I'm pretty sure it used the motion, so you'd actually pick up the controller. You could play you could use motion to basically define where down was, hit the button, and then gravity goes that way.
I thought it was more like I use it to point, like you could point with it and go.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so much. But I mean, you just mean the gyroscope.
Yeah, you use the gyroscope.
But the thing is,
I guess you can use the controller.
You got the second stick. The controller's got stickers. It's got touch pads. I'm sure there's heaps of ways around it.
Yeah.
Anyway, and that looks really exciting, really cool. Next up, though, we had Neo. Or maybe we'll just call it Neo. And say it's this Matrix spin-off. Yeah, good. Now, this game has been in production for a very long time.
Yeah, all right, yep.
It was first revealed, I want to say 8 years ago as a PS3 game.
Oh, Jesus, that's going back.
And now it's a PS4 game. And basically, it's moved to being Dark Souls with Samurai.
You said some words. You said some words that I like.
Yeah, it's very, very dark.
Yeah.
And very physically dark.
And Soulsy.
And it did make me think, because there's a few games now that are Dark Souls with whatever I sort of describe the combat as. And even though I do love Dark Souls and its influence on it, how many Dark Souls do I want? Because we're going to talk about some more of these coming up later in the show as well. This does, however, extend itself a bit further and start getting in. Well, no.
Well, this looks quite linear. Like, it looks like it's got that Dark Souls kind of queuing kind of combat system.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how it's got the same kind of open world.
No, I don't believe it's open world sort of design. It's an action game at heart, but pretty sexy so
it's
far.
got big bosses and stuff.
Yeah, big bosses.
Oh, hey, look at Geralt.
But there's also like you got some weird magic there, familiars and things like that. So it's going to differentiate itself from Dark Souls plenty.
Yeah.
But it's just when you have action games with that pacing, you know, how many do you
It's
want?
not. It's not Lords of the Fall.
No,
Yeah,
no,
like
it's not just let's do the same
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Okay, here's the weird one, and unfortunately, I didn't get to clarify this beforehand. Kingdom Hearts 2.8.
All right, you said 2.8. I watched it. Okay, so it's what point? I understand the 0.8. Explain the 0.8 to me.
Okay, so I was looking. Do I have my other notes written down here? I don't think I do. So it's Kingdom Hearts something drop or whatever, like one of the spin-offs that redone in HD plus another one of the spin-offs done in HD combined plus another prelude to Kingdom Hearts 3.
Because there were a bunch of like GBA games which are also.
I don't think these are the GBA ones.
Yeah, I know, but they're also.
But I think they might be like the Vita ones. Yeah, they're all cat.
I know. I need a graph. I need like you know how Nintendo did the Zelda chart.
That really didn't matter.
I know, but like, Kingdom Hearts, I feel like it does.
It does, because Kingdom Hearts has a huge universe of characters that all intertwine and all mean something, and like, oh, and I actually am that character, but like reborn with a different soul and all this sort of.
Yeah, like it's all over the place and like thematically, and I find now how do you get into it? Like I
don't know.
Like I remember, like I played 2 and I didn't play. I played a little bit of 1, but I didn't finish it. And it starts off, and I'm like the echo of one of the characters' souls
From Sora, I think.
Sora,
or was Sora the one in that one?
I have no idea. No, I just feel like they need some way to make it more penetrable.
Okay. I've at least brought up a timeline here.
All right, go.
Kingdom Hearts, then Chain of Memories, then
Yes.
Kingdom Hearts 2, then Chain of Memories. So there's another one.
I think that's the GBA one.
Okay, then Coded, then the amazingly named 358/2 dash not dash /2 days. So is that half? There's Birth by Sleep, and I think this is partly Birth by Sleep. Then there's Coded again. Then there's Dream Drop Distance, and I know that's one part is part of this 2.8.
Yep.
Then there's HD 1.5 Remix. Then the 2.5 Remix, Unchained X, and now 2.8. Final Chapter Prologue is the subtitle for this one. God damn it. It's like, how can you have a final? Oh, no. It's the prologue to the final chapter. That does make sense. That does make sense. Yeah, do you really think 3 is going to be the final chapter?
I don't know.
No.
Well, we're going to have 3.7.
There's going to be, it's going to be like Never Ending Story. It's like Final Chapter 2. It's going to be great.
The chaptering.
Anyway, if anyone can, I'm sure that's not. Actually, that's one thing I did this week.
Yes.
In my wanting to zone out thing, I did the old favorite back to Dark Souls. I'm just going to listen to videos about Dark Souls lore.
Oh yeah. I need to go watch this because they go into like.
Oh, there's so many good things, but that's what I need about Kingdom Hearts. I need to look.
Yes.
Find me one of those people that summarize it for me.
It's probably actually
Definitely.
done.
It's got a huge fan base.
Yeah.
And I mean, I still really want to. I've never played through Kingdom Hearts, any of them. I'm sorry, viewers and listeners. It's just not something I've done. I do really want to though, because I like active combat.
Yeah.
And I just like the ridiculousness of like the heavy themes in these worlds. It's like, oh, I'm gonna take Mickey Mouse. Woohoo!
Yeah, like they've taken this weird crossover.
Oh, you've stolen my soul! Humanity's doomed! Aha!
Originally, I just thought it's like, we've got this Square Enix Disney mashup. I'm like, all right, that's about all it is. Like, no, there's this deep existential story happening under the hood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love that they didn't puss out of it.
No,
Yeah,
they didn't.
that it wasn't just like some like bloody.
Thank
you, Mr. Producer.
Yeah. So here's a chart. Just kind of explains what it is.
Shows the general timeline of what we're doing.
I've played some of them.
Good work. Okay.
Yeah, it's a confusing mess.
I kind of want with all these like remixes and everything them to make one game that does the entire story, but it's just a single game length.
Yeah, well, I think like what they did with Mass Effect, how they did when it came out on PS3, they did like the interactive comic book. And then you actually made decisions along the way, which would then affect your playthrough. So
that was how they made up for not having the previous games.
Yeah, they didn't have the first one.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, here's the comic book, make your decisions, and then, all right, off you go on 2.
Yeah. Okay. Next up, it's the 20th anniversary of Resident Evil, my friend.
We're getting some new Resident Evil.
We're getting a new Resident Evil game.
Yeah.
Damn, let's go on it, bro. Pound. Yeah. in there.
How do you
little
bro?
chicken dance. That's all we do. Okay, so of course,
Yeah.
what everyone's looking for in a Resident Evil celebration is a competitive team-based shooter.
Well, that's what I've always felt.
That's
was
what I
lacking.
always think about Resident
Yeah.
Evil. It's where I go. So you are, well, Umbrella Corps or something like that, and you get to fight the shit against some other people for some reason. That said,
It's Syndicate. It's basically rival corporations fighting. I don't know if it is that.
no, oh, yeah, kind of, I guess, because we had the what was Umbrella Chronicles? We had we had the Raccoon City. Like we did have a multiplayer based one like this before, which I've already forgotten.
Yeah,
because it did great work.
Apparently, it was great.
That said, if this wasn't Resident Evil, I would be coming at it a little bit. In fact, just there on the footage was one of the things I thought was really interesting. You're in a zombie-infested area, and all the soldiers in this area are basically running around with zombie jammers on their back.
Yeah.
So one of the things you can do to attack the other team is not kill them, but shoot the zombie jammers they've got, and then let the zombies come in.
It does sound like they've incorporated the zombies in some interesting
Yeah,
ways.
it looks like they've done a couple, and there's a big focus on melee combat. We don't have a lot of third-person-based cooperative shooters out there, so that makes it interesting on its own. There's a lot of interesting things about it. I'm not saying that is going to be good, but it means it's also don't necessarily need to dismiss it just because it's kind of weird choice.
I feel like there's going to be some interesting decisions in there. Some of the previews I've read say that things like the shooting wasn't that great.
That's a problem.
Which, when you're a shooter, is pretty important. They have the analog cover system as well. So I think it works by you snap to a corner and then you can kind of use an analog stick to basically look out to some degree.
Yeah.
Apparently that can get in the way as well. Like you can just like if you get stuck in cover and you can't get out, it can be annoying.
No.
Yeah.
It doesn't really happen to me in the real life.
No, but in video games, like you've played cover games.
I don't play cover because I'm not a pussy.
No, you just run out.
I just run out and I win or die.
Yeah.
Die most of the time. Because in my day, we didn't have iron sights, we didn't have cover, we just had rail guns and lightning guns and rocket launchers.
And
it's Quake.
I don't know. Yeah,
Quake.
we're talking about Quake.
Playing lots of Quake.
Yeah.
I liked it more.
Quake Live's still going.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Play in the browser. Quake Live. I don't know if you can still play it in the browser.
Last time I played, I could.
Yeah.
But that was 2 years ago or
Yeah.
so. I should have used a game older than Quake to pretend I had more cred. Today, James asked online what the people grew up with, and I got all old man in my head. And every time someone said a game that was like newer than like 1990 or maybe even mid 80s, I'm like, fucking kids.
Yeah, I think you said you played the water games where you hit the button to get
the
hooks on the hooks.
I looked for one of those on mobile. People made them, but not great.
It's not quite. Really, they made them poorly.
Yeah, they didn't really. I think it's a lot of film there. Game and Watch. Oh, you had power. You had power in your games, Mr. Producer. Oh, fucking sellout. I played ball and stick, and I was happy for it. Okay. So speaking of games that are like Dark Souls, Bloodborne.
Yeah, we got some DLC coming.
DLC coming. It was actually going to be 2 DLCs, which have now been combined to make one massive DLC. And this is The Old Hunters.
I'm very interested to see the size of this because Cheryl has played a lot of the Dark Souls 2 DLC.
Yeah.
They are huge.
Yeah.
They are really big. So if this is the size of those DLC packs put together, it's basically a sequel. Like it's huge. There's a lot there.
It'd be interesting. Like I wouldn't be surprised just because a little bit more fidelity, being a little bit smaller than the Dark Souls stuff. But I mean, the amount of content just being shown off in the trailer is like 5 different environments are spotted and a whole bunch of boss monsters.
The sad boss.
Oh well.
I want to hug the sad boss.
Do you really want to hug him?
Not now. Now he's angry.
He's like a sad the thing.
Yeah.
Also, lots of battles with other hunters.
This is the sad the thing.
What?
Sad the thing.
I just wanted to play with the dogs.
The skull spider has so many arms it could be hugging with.
It was good. Let's go watch the thing. No, I was going to say not the remake. I'm going to say, no, we played the first remake. We watched the first remake.
Yeah.
We skipped the second remake.
I thought you mean the prequel remake. Because that was the prequel movie.
Yeah, but it's not really a prequel. It's just like trying to do the same thing, but
terrible.
terribly.
It's okay.
It was not.
Oh, what?
It was a bad movie.
Oh, well.
And if you were involved with it, except for Mew, because she is very attractive. And I know it's a bit piggish to say that, but that does make the film feel better in my heart. She was in Scott Pilgrim.
I have a question about being a pervert.
Yes.
So, what's the etiquette? I went to Comic-Con, right?
Yes.
Now, at Comic-Con, there are a number of scantily dressed ladies.
And scantily dressed men.
And scantily dressed men. I saw some men dressed in schoolgirl outfits. That was kind of cool. Am I a pervert to appreciate the scantily dressed women at Comic-Con?
Yeah, you can be.
I can be. I wasn't being pervy about it, but
Nothing
I wasn't
wrong
sure.
with being a perv.
Like, because they want to be. They've made these cool costumes, and I'm sure to be appreciated, right?
Yeah, well, you appreciate it.
Yeah.
You treat them like a human being.
Yes, obviously. They're
yes,
people.
but you can have your pervy thoughts. We're not thought police here.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's also, I just want to say, nothing wrong with being a pervert. Just be nice about it.
Don't be a dick. I think that's the...
Unless that's your fetish. Just want to be a large man-sized penis. I do remember at Sexpo, there was a man running around in a large penis costume.
Oh, really?
And I ran up to him,
Did you
hug him and jumped up and down. But I didn't realize he had a little squirt gun mechanism.
Oh,
that's what
beautiful.
Made a good friend that day.
There was generally some pretty good cosplay at Comic-Con. There was, at some point, the police showed up. For whatever reason, I don't know. I think they were just checking stuff out. But like, there's this awkward thing where it's like, is that costume or are you a police person? Like, well, you've got a taser.
It could be a paper mache taser.
Like, pretty sure you are a member of the police force.
It's just a fork jammed into a car battery. It's good tasing. Okay, but then continuing the Dark Souls trend at TGS, we had more Dark Souls 3.
Yes.
Which really didn't show anything new about Dark Souls 3 except more footage, and so I thought I'd just play it for the people that are watching.
Yeah, I mean, it does just, like, it is very fast.
What I think is hilarious is the amount of times your character is wearing, like, a tricorner hat. It's like, like you really take you say the Bloodborne, Dark Souls, like I think you use some of the same assets.
Could be, could be. I mean,
keep the hats
you
there.
You can really see the Bloodborne influences in it. Like it is.
Well, it's so much
fast.
faster,
Yeah,
so much faster, so much smoother, and like that'll be good. Like you want more changes to Dark Souls. I don't know if I'm ready for it.
Well, is making it Bloodborne a mistake? Like, is upping the speed a mistake? Because right now we've got this really good differentiation.
It'll be a good game,
well, I'll enjoy it more because I really enjoy the speed of Bloodborne. But does it bring those two things closer together so they can't really justify existing quite as much?
Kind of. In this world, it becomes more a theming thing.
Yeah.
Your sort of Gothic Cthulhu / spoiler, I won't say, aspect of Bloodborne versus your more medieval Gothic sort of stuff. They both have Gothic in them.
Yeah. I feel like Dark Souls has more of an opportunity to just go kind of crazy. Like, Bloodborne to me is very focused in its theme. It's like, we are Lovecraft. We're like crazy take on Lovecraft.
Except for when it isn't.
Except for the time it isn't. But there's still like a very definite, this is what we are, like a certain theme they're going for. Where
Do you know the spoilers?
But
oh man,
yeah,
I loaded up like end of Metal Gear Solid 5
Don't do that.
stuff. And I'm like, I'm not going to play it. I just want to see No.
You didn't watch it?
No, I didn't.
Ah, good.
I didn't read. I didn't read.
You held off so long for me, like, not telling you Metal Gear spoilers. And you're never going to play them. Like, don't tell me what happens at the end of Metal Gear Solid 4, James. Because I'll play it one day.
I'm pretty sure I know what happens at the end of Metal Gear Solid 4.
Okay. Well, we're going to say, because...
I'm going to take a guess here that James will confirm. I'm guessing that Snake dies. Other shit happens too, but I'm pretty sure he's dead.
Not saying.
Whom knows?
Not saying.
Whomed knows? That's where you're wrong, Mr. Producer. The credit sequence plays before the end. In fact, they play a credit sequence in Metal Gear Solid 5 like after every main part of the story.
Everything is like a little... They even have like, the credits. You can rush through it, thank Christ.
Yeah.
But yeah, each little thing is its own story.
Yeah, you got to appreciate it. And then just like, stay tuned for more Metal Gear. Now! And the game just continues. Oh, good. I need to get into that. I do want to play Metal Gear Solid 5 one time. In about 10 years, I'll play Metal Gear Solid 5. And I'll come on here as a very old man. The kids really don't understand then, because they'll just be all hooked up to their sex simulators, playing Pokemon's 2016.
It's bonding time.
Just like 2016. That's a bit weird. It's a retro remake. But, yeah, whatever. What were we talking about?
I don't know.
Bloodborne and Dark Souls.
Yeah, something
Good.
about that.
Okay. So, what else have you been playing this week, James?
Let me look at the list of things I'm allowed to talk about.
I like how structured the show gets now.
Where we're used to being a bit more, yeah. So Destiny, the Taken King, is what I
forgot my bit.
Oh, you had a bit? All right.
I was going to pull out a little mirror and start doing makeup.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you bring your thing? Your
No,
makeup thing?
I forgot.
You
That's what I forgot. I forgot to bring.
Oh,
I had a few bits planned for tonight and I forgot them. So James,
yes,
the Taken King.
Yes.
How much have you spent on Destiny now?
I have spent probably about $200.
Prepare for a justification of $200.
It was really well spent.
You're a liar! You're a liar!
All right, so I when it comes to value for money to Destiny, I have played it a lot. I feel like I have got my money's worth out of that game.
I got my money's worth out of it.
What I was worried about with Taken King, especially after playing the DLC from year one, was that it was just going to be this kind of lazy reuse of content. I'm like, all right, and I've kind of done this. I have been incredibly impressed with the levels in the Taken King.
Impressed because they're good?
No, impressed because they're good.
Or because they're not the ones that you played the first 9 months of?
No, I'm impressed because they're good.
How so?
Each level, I'm going to say out of probably the 10 or so that were in there that I've
played.
There
are 10 levels in Taken King?
I think there's about 10. I didn't actually count. I think it's about that.
Please check for us viewers right now.
More than I
if it's count. More than 3, I'll be surprised. Anyway,
I'd say that there was like 2 which were like eh.
Okay.
The other ones all did something different. So it's like, Give
me an example.
All right, here's one all right, you're invisible, now you have to stealth. So you got to avoid little rings of red.
If you're invisible?
Yeah.
Why do you have to stealth?
Well, because if you get too close, they'll see you. You're not perfectly invisible.
They should work on that technology for the future.
One where you have to ascend a tower to get you really high and not fall. It's another one.
I played that game where you get really high and try not to fall. It's tough.
Yeah, there's all there's a lot of variety in the environments. Like, even though you do go to some of the same locations, like you go to Earth, you go to Mars, you go to.
Is there a new planet?
There's the Dreadnought. So the Dreadnought is a ship that's orbiting Saturn.
Oh, that sounds like Warface. Not Warface. What's the
Warframe?
Warframe. Yeah. It sounds like a Warframe
so
level.
It's not as big as the other planets.
Or as big as Warframe.
Or as big as Warframe. But there's still an area you can do patrols and go do that stuff. The single player experience going through was so much better than what came out in year one.
This is year one.
We're in year 2 now.
We're in year 2 now?
This is year 2. We're in Destiny year 2. So in year 2, there's cinematics between levels. Majority of levels have some kind of intro, outro cutscene.
I hear they added a character.
The best part of it is Nathan Fillion is doing the voice of Cade.
Is he playing Nathan Fillion?
He is playing Nathan Fillion.
Like he does in Halo, he plays in every fucking thing
he's
ever
playing
in.
Nathan Fillion. The great thing about it is there's 2 main characters. There's Eris and Cade. So Eris is basically the person who talks like Destiny. Think of Eris as she's year 1. So everything she says is dumb, and she's all using stupid words like the darkness and whatever.
When the cataclysm came, we felt the sadness.
Yes, that's how she speaks.
Yeah.
Then to counter that, you got Nathan Fillion, who just makes fun of her the whole time. She'll say a bunch of stuff.
I genuinely said, I do believe it would make the game better.
Yeah.
But it feels like that someone was really sad when that happened. It's
probably.
But my lore.
But
the only way people will enjoy our lore is if we give it shit because it's terrible.
Yeah. I mean, I actually understand what happened in this. Every level, I know what I'm doing. The game has done a really good job at letting you know what to do and what you can do. The new quest system, where they actually just tell you these are the 5 things you can do right now, is great. It's I feel like doing this one. I'm going to go do some patrols for a while because there's a quest chain where you need to explore the planet to kill bosses with other people. It's cool. All right, I'll go do that. The content was good enough that I actually paced it out. It's I could burn through it all, but I'm going to slow down, play a level. Okay, I'm good. I want to come back and play it tomorrow. It felt like really top quality content. I was really impressed. That game is going to reach a point where you buy the collector's edition for $50 or $100.
I will not spend that much.
Which will have the entire back catalogue of content, and it'll be great.
No, you'll buy that box, and it will have the disc for Destiny 1. And that will have codes for everything else.
So for those who remember Ben,
that's old scam.
That's old.
That crazy old lunatic.
So Ben doesn't have the most internet in the world.
No.
He doesn't have. He's got a little bit of internet, but not the
He's
most.
got Australian
He's
level
got
internet.
Australian
That's how
internet.
bad it is.
So he went out to buy the Taken King get a disc.
Because that's what Ben's like.
Because he wants to buy the physical version.
And he would have checked that there were no scratches on that disc. Sealed copy only.
Brought it home to find out that it's actually like the disc for Destiny, and you just downloads the patch.
Which means that if you buy the Taken King as a disc, you can't resell it.
No.
So they fucked you over that way. But I love that because he already owned Destiny. So he's just got 2 discs now.
He does have 2 discs of Destiny.
Well, we may as well sell that first one off.
I did some multiplayer, like some of the PvP stuff.
Yeah.
I think those matches are really good. They are a lot of fun. I still haven't really checked out the new game mode much yet. It's a bit. It's sort of like you have to collect something called the Spark, I think it's called, or the Rift.
More collectors. Does that increase your estrogen or something?
I was hoping they were going to add Griff Ball, like the sport game from Halo.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted them to put that in. I don't know if that is even what this is. I don't know.
Let's play Rocket League. But now, a far more visually impressive game.
Why not? Look, you just leave them Taken King alone.
Time to shower with your dad simulator 2015! Do you still shower with your dad? Oh yes. So, lots of people are giving this game crap because it's another one of those dumb simulators. First up, well, yes it is. It also costs $1. But, it's got lots of content for $1.
It's $1.
It's $1.
And you got the lather. Scroll.
Yeah, so in this, I'm the little red-headed boy, and I have to beat my red-headed dad. And, you know, the more I can get... It's done with, like, a cheapness, but a style to the cheapness.
Okay, so the game is your dad appears, and you need to run to your dad?
Oh, I got the wrong dad.
Well, you don't want to go to someone else's dad. That's awkward. It's shower with your dad.
So that's the first mode. Next up is the dadathon. And when you get to each area, it starts with a dad joke, which is fantastic. Lots of dad jokes. And sometimes you get secret, like, WarioWare level, like, mini games when you just load up a new game.
Yeah.
So there's even more games that aren't even listed on there. There's lots of game.
You have to, like, sorry, I just kind of got there. You need to look for your dad, and you change.
Yeah. So in the first game mode, you were just the kid of a dad, and you have to run to that dad as many times as you can as fast. In this time, every time you get to your dad, you change kid, and then you've got to run to the appropriate dad. Very simple gameplay in here, but really, this is a game that you play for a couple of minutes. That's what it's designed for. And for a couple of minute game, you know, it's the equivalent of a mobile game. I'm going to kill him, have a bit of a laugh. And combined with the style and the dad jokes, I did have a bit of a laugh. And hopefully I die in a second so you can see the third major game mode, which has a nice little twist to it.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, people get sick of your goat simulators and everything, but all the good ones were sort of the first ones. Like, if someone else did a simulator this style, it wouldn't be funny.
Yeah, like, are we going to get, I don't know, whatever, shower with your mum simulator or something? Like, it's not going to be...
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah. It's like, let's... Although maybe shopping with your mum would be good.
Oh, there's something room there, isn't it? Yeah.
Shopping with your mum would be great.
What do you do? Like, you got to get stuff in the trolley?
I
want my roll-ups. Get the roll-ups in the trolley.
So here's dad division. Oh, what's the worst thing about it? Oh, I didn't see the pun. It was a good pun. So this is kind of like the beginning of Frog Fractions.
Oh.
where dads come down from the roof and you've got to reach out an incredibly extendable arm to grab them by the hand. But you have to circle around which child you need to be to do it. It's stupid, but it's funny. And it's you get fast-paced gameplay. They've got a bunch of achievements and they're the good kind of achievements.
Okay.
That they're not like get a certain score. It's do this certain thing in the game.
Okay.
So a bunch of little fun things like that, and that's what I hate about what achievements have turned into. People are very focused on like getting the gamer score, not on PC. No one gives a crap about that on PC.
No, that's why you
because you can fake it on PC anyway. Yeah. But you know, I used to really enjoy Xbox achievements, especially. But now they're like finish level 1, finish level 2. It's like who cares? When they were trying to get you to do something weird with the game. Yeah. That was fun. It's like the Steam sales when they used to get you to do something.
Yeah, you do fun things. Actually, I'm going to mention Destiny briefly again.
Because you got this really great bit where you have to scrub up with your dad.
Yeah, because one of the things they did is they had this one character who's like the gunsmith, the gun shop, and completely useless. Yeah. Like it's like there was just no reason to go to him ever. So what they've done is they've changed it so now you get guns that you need to use a certain way. Yeah. So it's like you get this gun and it'll be right. Go. Here's a sniper rifle. Go get like 2 penetrative shots. like, or go kill this particular kind of enemy. So they get you to try weapons that you haven't used before and try to use them in ways you haven't used them before. Nice little thing to get you to play it differently.
Still not sold.
One day you're gonna. This game is okay value.
Yeah, at the moment, $200 fucking will you pay?
That's just because I'm a sucker.
No.
You don't have to pay that. You can pay less.
I will not. I will pay $10 to $15. Thank you very much.
To you, it's a $10 to $15 game.
Definitely. For me, that's not even saying that I think that's what it's worth. That's what it's worth to me. Just because I'll only play it for like 5 hours and then I'll be done.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever.
I'll probably play it when I get home.
Of course you will.
Yeah.
Okay. So a little bit of news this week. First up, some delays.
No.
Were you looking forward to playing something by Nintendo this year? Star Fox is delayed till 2016, which I'm happy with because it's been looking real. When it was revealed, I thought it looked really bad.
Yes.
The more recent footage I've seen, it starts to look a lot more interesting.
Okay.
So a little bit more stuff in the
kind of stuff.
Well, just more things in the environment. That's a big thing. But what they're saying, Miyamoto announced the delay, and he said that it's focusing more on trying to make the interaction between the game player and the TV better.
Yes.
Which is good because they look kind of stupid to begin with. It's like the game had to run at 30 frames per second instead of 60 because they did this dual view thing, and the dual view didn't really seem to be successful. So either take that out and make it 60, or make it good. One of the two things. Actually, on that, there's been a bit of talk with the new head of Nintendo, Kimishima. Sorry, I have to look that up. Not in my brain yet. He seems like a stand-up bloke.
Okay. What?
So a few things. First up, he is not changing anything that was already in progress. Like they're not changing any plans.
Didn't can it.
No. He following Iwata's lead on it. Others describe him as a very kind and gentle man. Which is actually, but I kind of like it because Kimishima is far more financially based. He also said that he knew the Wii U was going to fail. But part of his reasoning, the name, which everyone except the people that chose the name knew. We still say it's got a stupid name, and we love it. So he's realistic about that sort of thing.
That's good. It's got a level head on his shoulders.
He also doesn't think he's going to be the president for very long.
Oh, okay.
They are very interested in having young developers and young people in the company taking leadership roles now. They didn't have enough time to find those leaders and mentor them.
They may get someone who understands the internet.
Maybe. It would be great. Because, we're not going to talk about it right now. Although we could, because there's no footage. Well, James has been playing a lot of Super Mario Maker. We ain't going to show you any footage from it because Nintendo's been taking that off fucking YouTube. Why?
Yeah.
That entire game is about sharing.
The game is about collaboration and learning from each other, getting feedback. And one of the best ways to do that...
We can use the fucking amiibos at least.
Yeah, actually the reason that I have this here and actually brought along these post notes, because I wanted to do some level building. So
we've got a nice white wall and everything. Yeah.
So this is what I tried to do with my first level, is because I'm not very good at wall jumping. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to teach wall jumping. So I got some blocks like this here. All right.
God, this is James in teacher mode.
Just bear with me. And then it's like I needed to get some kind of jump that you could do without dying, because it's important that when you give the player some kind of new thing to do, that they can learn it in a safe way. So I had my jump like this, and then I made sure that there was a pit not at the bottom, so that you could... You see how long this takes, Paul?
This is a stupid idea.
You see how much easier...
Also, we go...
Yeah.
He wants to wall jump, so he'll be like, doop, doop. Because James, the wrong Mario. He's not going to do it. He doesn't have wall jump. You've got to use new Mario.
This is the right one.
He'll wall jump.
He goes Dumpty 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 Dum, boop boop boop, and he can get up there.
Not like this one. He can't wall jump at all. He just like goes like that. He's hitting your face over and over.
Yeah. Now, what would have been great is if I could have shown the prepared earlier videos where I just like, here's my level that I made, but instead I have to use this trusty wall. Good old trusty wall.
Good old wall.
Nothing beats wall.
Set rocks. And so I found out this weekend, also a crowbar works freaking great. Okay. But other delays have come across us. Persona 5 is now delayed until next year. I would have loved it before Christmas because I get a bit of a break. Because that's the only time I'll be able to dedicate time to Persona 5.
Oh man, it's so pretty.
It's like Persona 4, but there's people in the world. so pretty.
Is there a cat in that bag? Oh,
Yeah, of course there's a cat in the
is a
bag.
cat in
There's
that bag.
cats are a big theme in Persona 5.
So instead of teen suicide, it's cats.
Kinda. Everyone wears masks and doesn't commit suicide, but you're criminals in this one. Like
on a
it's very
heist.
criminal themed. Well, I mean, you're still teenagers, but
Yeah.
like you're bad teenagers. Yeah,
Delinquent
yeah.
teenagers. Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's so pretty. Like even just that show we had before, I actually thought that was animated, and like till they got closer, like oh okay, no, it's
Yeah.
actually in-game stuff.
And they've got a lot of good animation in there too. It's going to be a freaking great game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Look, it's going to be confusing. It's going to be weird. Still didn't finish Persona 4. Probably got like 2/3 of the way through.
It's a big game. It's
long.
a very big game.
No. Anyway, no more Persona. Other news. Konami, big surprise, officially done with AAA, except for Pro Evolution Soccer.
So yeah, they're done.
So yeah, everything's
So
going,
I guess
"Bye,
Metal
bye."
Gear is done.
No, there'll be heaps of pachinko machines.
There'll be the poker
bunch of
machines.
mobile apps.
Yep.
Maybe some sort of food products.
Yeah.
It's like snakes you can open and taste the disappointment. Yeah. Good work, Konami. You are dead to us also.
Yeah.
If you were making a game for the Apple TV, you can't say that it needs a controller. All games have to use the default controller, which is a remote with even less buttons.
Yeah, so it's a remote. I think it's got like a touch thing at the top, so it's got some kind of motion control. I'm not sure what's going on with that TV.
With that thing, with them not
Weird
having an
decisions.
official controller and not letting people say that it needs a controller, they just mean it's not going to be a viable gaming
Yeah.
platform.
Well, the other strange thing they've done, and actually I learned about this. Ron Gilbert posted about it.
Yeah.
Was that they're putting a restriction on how big the download can be. So when I first saw this, like, oh, okay, this is a bit like what Android does, because Android will have a hard limit on the size of what you can download.
You know what, Mr. Producer? While we're talking about this rubbish, load up the footage for The Witness and let people watch that while we talk.
Okay. All right. So anyway, one of the things, because of that limitation, basically you can... Fine. No, I won't rant about
No,
distribution
because The
platforms.
Witness is only like a one-sentence piece of news and it's a little bit of footage.
Yeah. So anyway, completely lost. Yeah. Anyway, so basically it'll download in chunks, but those chunks can be unloaded.
Yeah.
So you can't really have a game where it's like, here's an adventure game, which is like a big thing. You go back and forwards a lot. It's like, it doesn't make sense to, because you might unload it, you got to download it again. It only works if it's level based. So with this, like, not requiring a controller, and also this weird kind of download pattern, like, I'm not sure what they're trying to achieve with it.
I think they didn't really have a plan.
I think
I think it's not a gaming platform. I think they're not pushing it as
it's a Netflix. It's going to be a Netflix box.
I've got a Netflix
Yeah.
box. It's called the PS3.
It's such an expensive Netflix box.
It's real good.
Hey, Witness.
Yeah, Witness. It's got a release date, January 2016. So that's the end of the Witness news.
Yeah,
It looks pretty as hell. I can't believe. Like, I wonder what it's going to cost actually, because it's like 40 hours apparently. I thought that was too much. When Jonathan Blow first said that, I'm like, too many hours, Jonathan
It
Blow.
does. It looks like it's Jonathan Blow's Mist.
Yes.
It's like it's very much. What happens when Jonathan Blow makes a mist?
Well, he has to.
Witness. Actually, did spray me.
I'll happily spit on
It
you
was a
anytime,
fine
James.
mist.
Goodness. Do you love Five Nights at Freddy's? Are you autistic? No, that's a terrible joke. Sorry about that.
I haven't played Five Nights at Freddy's. I saw a kid in Five Nights at Freddy's cosplay.
No, they love it. Five Nights at Freddy's is just like when the first game was announced and shown. Like, I thought this was genius.
Yeah.
And then we've had 4 or 5 now.
Well, it's because they print money, Paul.
Well, they print money. It's one guy. They're very simple to make.
Yeah.
But the kid, like, they love it. It's one like it's like not as big as Minecraft, but it's on a similar thing where it's part of this culture of especially the teen generation.
I hear about like when PewDiePie did the 5th one.
No, I didn't hear about it.
No, because he's done, and so like he was playing it. It's like not scared. So he's like because he was honest about it. It's like, I'm kind of burnt out on this. This isn't scary anymore.
That's why the main series is done. Now it's time for the Five Nights at Freddy's RPG. Which isn't a horror, apparently.
Okay.
It's just in the same world with some of the characters. Can't wait to see what it is.
Honestly,
Can't wait to see.
All right, that's something different. That's good.
Yeah, that'll be good. Yes. World of Tanks has been announced on PS4 because it was on Xbox previously. That'll work very well. I think that about does it, really. Don't really care about any of the news. It's done.
Done. Nothing else interesting happened in video games.
There's a few things. We got to see Project Setsuna. Do you remember them announcing this?
Nope.
So Project Setsuna was at the end of the Square conference at E3 this year. And like, oh, we're putting together this, this team of veterans. They did this Project Setsuna and just put out concept art. Oh, it'll be great. And I got nothing bad to say about the game really, but they put it as like this big landmark title. And it's a really, really traditional JRPG. It was like, oh, this is just...
It's a pretty
JRPG.
JRPG.
It looks pretty. It's going to be on Vita as well as PS4, which is nice. But I kind of expected something a little bit more like worthy of like a teaser announcement, like the big final thing at a press conference when it finally shows up. It's like, oh, yeah, that looks
good. Like, that's cool. I'll get a JRPG, thanks.
But speaking of weird games, which weird games are generally my preference.
Yeah, that's what you go for.
You're Manifold Garden. This was a game that basically came out of a PlayStation Experience thing they did. I think it was, I can't remember what that was called, but this is like based on architecture, and it's puzzles and architecture. And at first I'm like, okay, this is cool. You've got some cool tech here, the way that everything can relate and everything. But how is this a game? And what I really liked about this, I don't know if you looked at the page, James, but the PlayStation blog where this trailer was put up, they don't just show the trailer and say, here's a weird looking thing, look forward to it or don't. They not only go into the technology behind it, but they actually talk about what they're experimenting and what worked and what didn't.
Yeah, because when I first watched the trailer for this,
You're like, that's not a game.
Like, nice background generator.
Exactly. In fact, the game even has a photography mode. Yeah. So you can straight up background generator.
Scoffing at it. But no, they go into a lot of detail about actually what the game is, and there's a lot of puzzles surrounding when you have this kind of like
impossible geometries and physics, and like they just have straight up gameplay examples. Like, okay, if I drop a block off an infinite looping plane, what can we do with that? And so I think when you're going to do a game that just looks not a game like this, put it with an explanation. What the fuck?
Yes. Because they could have just gone the route of, look, here's
something pretty.
Here's a pretty thing.
I like pretty things. They're pretty. Yeah.
But like water puzzles. What happens with water flows around?
I know.
Are you thirsty, Paul?
I am. Water on the computer.
Water on the computer. Water on the computer.
It's waterproof.
It's water on the computer.
I'll just use this.
Use one of those handy tissues.
Use this here tissue.
That wouldn't have happened if you were using a World of Warships drinking bottle.
It's right. World of Warships could have saved my life, but instead, here I am. Me. What a disappointment. Okay. Sure, I've got another game to look at if my computer hadn't just passed out on me. Lost in Harmony. Now, this was an interesting little project. Unfortunately, hey, James, did you look into this at all?
A little bit.
Can you remember who made it?
Nope.
God damn it. I forgot too. It's someone...
We're the best.
It's someone we know. We're really great at talking about this video game thing here. So I found the talk about this game way more than... Because it was posted as like this big, musical, amazing adventure. And it's basically just... it's a little bit Elite Beat Heroes with some dodging side to side. I don't really get it. It looks like it's got some social commentary. There's some Tetris blocks and some Facebook likes.
You know what? When I saw this, what I thought. You know the really shitty levels in Sonic Adventures when like you're running from the whale.
Yeah.
That's sort of the thing. Even though like I know it's not this game. That was the running towards the camera thing. Like it's like
the guy behind Valiant Hearts.
Oh, okay.
There we go. Nice. Thanks, Google. You saved my life. I liked Valiant Hearts. Yeah, interesting looking thing. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see if it is actually a full-blown game when we see more of it, I guess. Had some pretty ideas. Anyway, James, it's time for you to talk about Mario Maker.
Yes!
We already did that.
Finally. No, you let me talk about Super Mario Maker. All right. Okay.
Oh Jesus!
No, they're my Destiny notes.
Good.
I don't need any stupid notes.
Just wait. Those are your Destiny notes?
Yeah.
That's like a fucking page and a half.
I just brain dump.
You
want to go back to Destiny?
That's a lot of
I'll
Destiny.
go back to Destiny if you want.
No.
Okay.
I never want to mention them again.
Super Mario Maker is one of the best things ever. I really wish I could show it. It is a quintessential James game.
Why aren't there slopes?
Why aren't there slopes? I need no stinking slopes.
Why aren't there vertically scrolling levels?
It's a game about restraints and making levels the best you can within those constraints. There is like the game gives you lots. It gives you plenty. Why
can't I make a world? Why can't I make a collection of levels as a world?
Well, you kind of can organize it in a world, but people can't play. Like when you save it, you have world 1, 2, 3, 4.
Lives are meaningless.
Okay. No, well, if you just go back to the beginning.
There's no meta game. There was a meta. Why can't I make like a mushroom come out of a block if I'm small, but something else come out of it if I'm big?
You don't need that.
These are all essential Mario design aspects.
You don't need that.
All these things.
Okay, you know who needs that? Mario game makers. Like the people actually making Mario games. They're the people who need it. This game isn't about them.
I would like to say it's literally Mario Maker.
No, this is about people at home making Mario levels. And what is there is plenty. There is a lot you can do with what's there.
I don't know. As someone that hasn't played it, I don't think there's enough.
Okay, so what I love is that it completely encapsulates what making a game is from beginning to end. Like if you go on to these, like I always said at the store, if you go on to play other people's levels, it's flooded with shit.
I've seen and heard much of it.
There is so much bad stuff on there because making games is hard. And one of the reasons I've really loved it is because like game design isn't my thing. That's like I'm more of a technical background. I'm a programmer. But I want to skill up in kind of more game design stuff. So it's a good place for me to go learn that without like, what are you giving me wiggly eyes for?
So much eye contact.
I'm excited.
I can tell.
Okay, so it encapsulates the whole thing. So first you need to come with your ideas of what you're going to make.
No, you're supposed to try and picture me. I'm the bitchy girl at the party that won't give you attention.
Okay, so you got to come with your idea, your concept. You got to prototype it out. You got to find out if any of your concepts work. You got to practice. You got to get your jumps, figure out what the limitations are. Then you got to think about how am I going to teach the player to do these things. And you got to pace out. You got to think about the story of your level. You got to think about well, what kind of scenery and props am I going to use to go through so it doesn't feel the same the whole way. And that's just making it. Then when you make it, you've got to try to think of a way to actually get people to play it. Like, and part of this is even thinking about what you call it. The name is important. So I had one level, which was about jumping. I was like, all right, I want to make a level around jumping. And the name I gave it originally was something dumb. I called it like Jumpy Run.
Jump Town.
It was like it was Jumpy Run. It was dumb, and I had like one person play it. So
why not Jumpy Jump?
No, well, yeah, you got a verby now in it. So what I did is I deleted it and re-uploaded it. Called it something else.
What did you call it?
I called it like Super Jumpman Bro with an exclamation mark at the end. Instantly started having people playing it. Wasn't a lot, wasn't as much as my Spelunky level, but I had a bunch of people start playing it straight away.
What if you call the level Celine Dion's My Heart Will Go On?
Then maybe you do well, I don't know. See, I'm gonna figure out the market. I even started doing things like finding when the weekly ranking resets, so I know when best to release it.
Why don't you call it Five Nights at Freddy's 6?
I should, that'll get some downloads.
I will.
But like and I could jump to the Twitter, because I've been following like the Super Mario Maker Twitter hashtag. And we have, there's even the same kind of like things that happen to people in game dev. We're like, oh, my levels are good, but no one gets them. I feel sad. And I just read it, and like Nintendo have managed to perfectly capture
the sadness of independent
game development. It's like it's more than just making Mario levels to people. Nintendo has brought game development to the masses and let you know what it's like. Like if you want to know what it's like to be a game developer, go try and be successful in Super Mario Maker. It will give you that experience.
Just try anything that you won't be successful at. Just try that and you'll get the
great.
feeling.
The sharing stuff is amazing, what they've done. You constantly get feedback on how you're going, like in terms of people playing stuff.
I like, because since I'm out of it, I hear a lot of the complaints. So I like to come in like, so the sharing is very good, except things like they haven't bothered tying it into your friends list.
That's dumb.
So you have to actually look up other, it's like, it's a different ID that you have to look up, that you have to get like negotiate. It's like, understand the internet.
No, what's really clever is that when you're making stuff, you get notified when people play your level, and it actually happens quite regularly. Yeah. So it's like you're making it, so you're building a level, and building the level is still hard. Like there's a level I've been working on for probably 3-4 days now, trying to nut out to get it to work, and it's game dev, it's hard. And
my favorite thing is that I don't know if it's all items, but the actual, when you're using Mario Maker, the feel of the interface has got a lot of little touches, a lot of nice little things.
Yeah.
And one of them is that a lot of items, when you're moving them around, say their name.
Oh,
have you noticed this?
It doesn't even say its name. Like, when you place them, it says the name.
Yeah.
Auto-tuned to the background music of what's happening. It's amazing. It's it's so good. I found Fly Swat, whatever it's called. Like, there's a hidden game in there. Like, you grab one of the things, shake it, flies come out, you swat them, and then it just brings up the Fly Swat again. It's just like there's so much to discover in there. I can't recommend it enough. To be honest, I've been loving it. I've been loving it so much. No, I'm not buying it for you.
But you're a rich game developer.
If you have any desire for game dev, get Mario Maker. It just captures it, and you'll go through the same trials and tribulations of game dev playing that thing. It is great. I love it. I love it so much.
Crowdfunding. Good. Okay. Got a bunch of Kickstarters this week.
Is that the most gushy I've been so far?
It's pretty gushy.
I was pretty gushy.
Pretty gushy, yeah. Okay, so we've actually got, I think, like 3 weeks of stuff. So I've tried to cull it down to some interesting things. I actually wanted to do, I was thinking about this earlier in the week, and I wanted to start this talking about how games can't just rely on thematics alone. They have to have infinite gameplay. So here's a game that I'm putting up basically for thematics alone. It's called Orion, Legacy of the Kori Odin. Now, this was interesting thematically because this is an action, sort of themed RPG, side-scrolling, so there's a little bit of action platforming in there, but it's based on a famous African, like, fable and legend.
Yeah, so it's African fantasy. It's not swords and sorcery.
And I'm like, ooh, I'm wide enough that I don't know anything about this.
No, it's a fantasy game in a culture I don't know a lot about.
Yeah, and it's got the art. I mean, maybe you want a little bit more keyframing between things, but the general drawings look freaking beautiful. So it's got a nice style to it. Yeah, I'd say maybe a little bit smoother, but you know, it looks like it'd be responsive in the actual fighting. But it's like a solid-looking game with a theme that I haven't seen before. That's enough of a hook for me to care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got kind of like a Tales of kind of mechanic to it.
A Tales of?
Like Tales of Zarian.
You're not ringing my bell, Jay.
You know, like the side-scrolling RPG. It's like Tales of...
I can't think of the Tales
of
the Crypt.
Tales of Genji. No.
Tales of Gandhi. That's my favourite one.
If anyone's in chat want to point out
what Tales you're trying to think of.
So dumb, then yeah.
If you're wanting to back to support and get the game, that is it's actually a €20 pledge, so a bit up there, but you know, it's a cool game. Anyway, just a little bit of attention to it there. Next up, Grey Dawn. Now this is one that again goes with actually we're talking a lot about hooks today online.
Yeah.
And this is a first-person horror game, which, you know, 99% of the time you give me one of these and I'm just going to be like, bam, done. So in this one, however...
You love PT so much.
You know what? PT's really grown on me.
Oh, really? Oh, man. You are like so anti-PT.
I still don't think it's great, but I give it like a solid 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that more than you give Destiny?
Destiny's like a 2.
A 2? Oh.
And that's just because of Peter Dinklage.
But he's not in it anymore.
I know.
They've taken him out. Oh, so now it's gone down.
It's gone down. Anyway, on to Grey Dawn. Grey Dawn, and I do understand this little bit of footage up here, I believe is pre-rendered. Maybe it's prettier than I thought, but it's still, I think, Unreal Engine 4, so it's not...
Unreal Engine 4 is very...
It can be very pretty, especially when you're doing just surfaces and everything. You're a priest accused of murdering one of your
altar boys, I think, yeah.
I'm like, that's an interesting theme. And then, because I like things around religion and everything, and, well, yeah, we'll get to the end of this trailer, but near the end of this trailer, it pulls out, I think, to a Buddhist statue. So they're playing around with a lot of religious ideas and thematics, and not just on having Slender Man coming up behind you randomized. I'm like, oh, it has a nice aesthetic to it. It's got some good production value, and that's there. I don't know if that's.
I don't say it's Buddha.
No, but it's certainly not. It's certainly not Catholic. I was like, you know what? You got enough of a hook for me to give that more of a shot. I'm interested in seeing what the hell this story actually is. And if you're wanting to bet for a copy of that game when it's out,
I like you saying bet.
Yeah, bet. That's good.
For Kickstarter,
actually, you know what? We're going to say bet from now on.
Yeah, if you're going to bet for a game.
€9 on that one. Yeah. Good old euros.
Take a punt.
Take a punt on a Kickstarter today. What have you got to lose except your money and your faith in humanity? Betting clothes.
I wonder if you, like, you know how you can bet on everything these days?
Yeah.
Like, you can bet on even, like, you know, E3 stuff and, like, election stuff. You can bet on the spill.
Yeah, you can bet
on that.
I thought Kim Beazley was going to win it. I was right out.
Can you bet on Kickstarters yet?
I'm sure that's there. Okay, next up, another just quick, nice looking one. This is Crashnauts. Crashnauts is a multiplayer platforming shooting game. So, you know, I'm thinking gunplay. I like to throw Soldat. It doesn't look very Soldatish, really, but I just always go that way when I'm thinking about gunplay.
It's kind of got the spawning in from not Starship Troopers.
Helldivers?
Helldivers, yeah.
So we're just talking about a fast-paced multiplayer shooting game. It's mainly PvP. I think they've got some PvE stuff in there as well. But it's just clean. It's got that sort of Alien Hominid, the Behemoth.
Yeah.
Behemoth style art style to it. Just very clean, easy to read. I instantly go like, this is a game I can play with people without explaining it.
Well, that's what you want for this kind of party.
That's what I want for a party, 4-player game, which we've really been enjoying. It's got like auto-scrolling levels. Like actually, I really like that in Smash Bros. They've got a few of those levels. No one ever wants to play them, but I thought they were great. And they go like you can push along a little bit. I just think really neat, really straightforward, just a really quality product, which I can't really think of anything quite like it. That's what I always think when I'm recommending things. Like, is there a game out there right now that I could get this experience in?
I mean, if it was Towerfall, it'd be like, well, go play Towerfall.
Yeah.
But this does offer something different than Towerfall.
Yeah. I can think of maybe some older indie games that are this, but nothing recent.
Yeah.
And this does look to have a few of its own little twists on it. And it just looks polished.
Different weapons and things. There was a railgun. You know, we were talking about Quake earlier.
Yeah, so at the moment, you can place down your bets at $10 as an early bird, you know, if you really want to risk it, or later on it's $15. So, you know, the $10 seems good to me. Yeah, worth a punt. Worth a wager. 12 is better than 6, did you know?
In what context?
When you're just wanting to be hit Hotline Miami, but you're in Western times.
Hand-drawn Western.
And it's hand-drawn.
Because
you got 2 6-shooters. That's twice as many as 1 6-shooter.
So it's 12.
It's 12.
And it's better than 6.
Yeah. Again, just a really nice aesthetic to the whole thing. I love the blood splatters in this game.
Yeah.
Surprising gore out of Henry. It made me think. You remember not David Cage, Twisted Metal guy.
God.
Jaffe.
Yeah, there we go, thank you.
He's got that upcoming shooter, which is like...
I was thinking Morgan Jaffe. Like, that's not right. That's not right.
If Morgan Jaffe made Twisted Metal, he'd be a different man. But he's got that like teenage book hand-drawn style to this third-person shooter he's doing. And I remember when we first looked at it, you especially found it very difficult to look at. This is a very similar aesthetic, but so clean.
It's very readable.
And it's not, like I said Hotline Miami before, and it's certainly got that perspective to it, but it sort of seems to have more story-based things. Well, I think Hotline Miami has story-based stuff as well.
But like thematically, that's more interesting to me than Hotline Miami. Like that appeals to me more.
No, thematically, you don't like the creepy drive thematics of Hotline Miami?
Not really. Not my thing.
Real human being.
It's not for me.
And
I'm not saying it's bad.
Hero.
I'm saying it's not for me.
Real human. They used that song on an ad recently. I'm like, that's from a movie about a psychopath. So you were able to get the game for a massive £2.
£2? Why am I made of money?
Now it's £4. So
bullshit. I'm out.
Mr. Moneybags out there. Although, you know, that is actually starting to get us to substantial money with the Australian dollar now. That's probably like $150 Australian.
Our economy's going to be fixed soon, right?
Oh, God. Is there anything... I literally, before this Kickstarter came up, called Tanker, I was thinking just this week, why don't we have, like, just someone with combat?
Yeah, like you want a combat game.
Yeah, remember PAX Australia last year, the final game in their, what was it called, the Amigathon they do?
Yeah, the Amigathon.
The Amigathon was combat. This is an old Atari game. Very simple. You drive tanks and you shoot at each other. Really, really straightforward. And if you haven't picked it up yet, I really like straightforward multiplayer games to play with my friends.
They are the most funnest.
Yeah, it's like, where the hell is just the modern combat?
Done. You got it.
Here it is.
You can stop complaining.
It's called Tanker. It's got PvE, PvP, randomized levels, level builder in it. It's clean to read. Could be a little prettier.
It's alright.
It's fine. It's readable.
It's combat.
That's all I wanted. It's combat.
What do you want? What do you want to look like?
I don't know.
Combat?
It's combat prices, €7.
It's alright.
It's okay. It's combat. Did you want combat? I wanted combat.
Who wants combat?
Thanks, Tanker.
Yeah.
You brought me back some combat. I got one friend.
Well, friends. No.
There's also a demo available for that one, so if you are interested in it and you want to go, is this combat? You can download it and find out. Yeah, it's combat.
Yeah, it's combat. Yeah.
It really is that thing that it looks just like. Okay. Oh no. I lost my page. I lost my page. What's my next Kickstarter, James?
Oh, it's Battle Chess Night War.
No, it's Battle Chasers. Battle Chess is good though.
I do want Battle Chess Night War.
So Battle Chasers, we were actually almost going to talk about it the other week. It's been up for a little while. Basically, this is a super slick RPG.
Yeah.
Which its overworld reminds me.
The color palette is so nice.
It's so sexy, isn't it?
Like, it looks like a Blizzard game. Like, just in terms of the colors. Like,
it's utterly gorgeous. But so it's turn-based combat when you're in combat. But then in the overworld, it's a little bit like
I get a bit of a Bastion.
Oh, Bastion.
Feel
Yeah. Bastion. I was also thinking, God damn it. Basically Diablo, but with pets and a bit comic-ier. Come on, we played it.
Oh, Torchlight.
Torchlight!
Yeah.
Somewhere between Bastion and Torchlight.
Yeah, I can see Torchlight.
Yeah. With some really cool, just like still story moments as well. It's just one of these production value things. If you like turn-based combat and sexy things.
This is one of the prettiest games I've seen in a while.
So goddamn pretty.
The art, I don't know who's in charge of the art for this one, but
it's
props.
me.
That's like, you've done an amazing job.
Yeah. It's a very, very sexy looking game. And if you're wanting to back it, they had earlies and they keep going.
So many earlies.
It's up to now it's $30 to back that. It's basically a full price game now. It started at 20. I would have paid 20.
Yeah.
But I don't like turn-based enough to go to 30.
Yeah, the problem I have is it's turn-based.
I like a little bit of turn-based.
No,
it's sexy.
It's fine.
If they put in a skip animation button for you, you'd be happy.
That'd be great.
Yeah. In the realm of sexy looking Kickstarters, that one's right up there. Now here's a Kickstarter that's not sexy. Well, not sexy looking. A House of Many Doors. A very literary title, if I do say so. Now, this game is a storytelling RPG which takes, just to see a little bit of a train with mechanical legs, what the picture. Now have a look at it. Does that remind you of anything, James?
It looks like some kind of insect or something.
Well, I mean, the game looks basically like Sunless Sea.
Oh, yes. I can see that.
And I'm looking at it going, well, this looks like an interestingly made game, but Sunless Sea exists, and that's a really good company. Why do I care about this? And this person, being a smart person, has on their Kickstarter a question. This looks like Sunless Sea.
Yep.
What makes it different? If you look like something, deliberately address it and tell people, wow, like he says, he loves Sunless Sea, it is a first thing up. This isn't a roguelike.
Oh, okay, so it's actually, well, it's good because I didn't really like roguelikes.
Yeah, okay, straight up. If you're interested in Sunless Sea but you didn't want the roguelike element, here's something directly inspired that does that. The actual art style at the moment, we're saying is very similar. It's actually really, really early alpha. A lot of that isn't even what he wants to do art-wise. It's just like, this is placeholder at the moment.
Well, it is Kickstarter.
So, it's Kickstarter. But that's what it's like. He's got this idea for the game. He's acknowledging it looks like a different game, and then tells you what's different about it.
That someone intelligently used to frequently ask questions.
Yes. Thank you. I got to it and it's like, you have literally, like, I skipped reading everything else until I saw that, and then I went back and read the other stuff. Yeah. It's like, thank you. Yeah.
It's an easy way to pitch your project as well. It's like this, but.
Yes. Yeah. Acknowledge it and then say but. Give us the hook of what to do. Because no one comes up with anything 100% original.
Oh god, no, I steal all my ideas.
Exactly. But it's that, again, like we're talking about hook.
Yeah.
It's like, we want that, it's like this but. Like, we still need the game to be good other than the but. But as long as it's good and you've got our attention with something else, you're not just another pile of first-person horror games with tall gentlemen that are skinny. I think they called him...
Slender-ish, thin dude.
They called him Anorexic Fellow. It actually deals with a very serious mental condition.
Yeah.
Next up, game for James, The Hollow Earth. Why is it a game for James?
Why is it a game for me?
Because it's a pretty, I'm gonna say, very B grade, maybe C grade level third-person action RPG thing.
Yes.
Where you go down, it's hollow. It's based on the Hollow Earth conspiracy thing. You know, where the Earth is hollow and this.
What the big farmers keeping it down with their chemtrails.
Yeah, but you know, have you watched this, James?
No, I haven't.
Oh well. Here you go. You're starting to see.
Wait,
now.
whoa! There's dinosaurs here. Hold on, buddy.
Okay, this looks like sort of a. Oh, it doesn't look like a PS2 game.
This is Dino Crisis, right?
Yes, it's Dino Crisis, and it takes in even the jankiness of that. I'm like, you know what? I know you've been dying for a new Dino Crisis.
Because Dino Crisis is the best.
And Dino Crisis is janky as hell.
Oh yeah.
So, well, isn't the jankiness appropriate? And if they make it better, good for them. And if they don't, it's nostalgic. So yeah, it's always nice to see like teams like kind of aiming bigger like this. I don't think they can quite.
Dinosaur strafed out.
Yeah, dinosaur strafe.
Dinosaur strafe.
See, James is already sold.
Just take my money. It's like you can just shoot so many dinosaurs.
I like that you sort of just turned before the dinosaur was actually dead. Just like, cool chicks don't look at dying dinosaurs. So I thought you'd be really happy about this. And like they've got cutscenes here, and the animation's like so perfectly old school video game janky.
Yeah, like this looks like it could be back in like early 2000s.
Yeah, this would be the HD re-release of
the
basically
the Dino Crisis game that never came out.
Yeah,
Dino Crisis 4 HD,
which is kind of wonderful.
Yeah,
it's and they're nailing what they're going for with that. And if you want to have a copy of the game, it's more than you should pay. I thought that was cheaper. Guess, James. Guess how many? It's in US dollars.
US dollars. I'm gonna say $20.
Slightly higher.
25.
Yes.
25.
Maybe not.
Maybe
especially
not.
with the Australian dollar.
Yeah, that's like 50 Australian dollars.
Thought it was a little bit cheaper. Okay, one very last one today. Legacy of the Elder Star. This is a game that
got me to reinstall WildStar.
Just because it had the name Star in it?
It had Elder in there as well. It had some mental cues that got me to reinstall it.
Okay, so interesting thing here. So looking at it, thinking shmup, like that, you move around a lot. It's one-to-one movement, so you can actually attack enemies by running into them partly. And you're thinking, hey, this would be great for mobile, something like that. Nope, because it actually has a whole bunch of shooting mechanics as well. So the only mobile that could actually play it is the new Apple shit that has the touch sensitive stuff.
Yay! I actually think this looks really fun.
I think they've taken they've got a good art style, and they've taken very well known mechanics and mixed them up in enough ways that he was moving, because some enemies he couldn't touch obviously. Yeah. So we got near them to mark them, so then he could use like a homing attack on them and stuff like that. So really it's a very different kind of.
I really liked the one-to-one mapping they had.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm pretty good at moving around a mouse cursor these days.
I'm pretty good.
I've had some experience with it. So building mechanic around that one-to-one mapping.
Played a lot of Minesweeper.
Yeah. Yep. You sweep with the best.
I swept them all, maybe.
I think it looks really cool. I like the customization stuff. Look fun. Look really good.
It's a sexy looking game.
Yeah.
For a sexy looking man. So if you're a sexy looking man or woman, or a handsome woman or handsome man,
whatever you wish to describe yourself as.
Yes. If you wanted to back that for a copy of the game, you can do that. Looking at a 15 early access for a digital copy on that.
15?
Yeah. But at $5, get some wallpaper.
They got wallpapers?
Wallpaper!
Oh, man!
Sorry, Mr. Producer. We just get really excited at wallpaper pack-ins.
Whoa! What is?
That's the ID card thing. I was going to put it in my mouth, but I've changed my mind. Okay. So, for the main event, that pretty much wraps us up today, except now, we've got Cheapskates Game Club.
Well, before we go, anyone wants to Q&A in the chat?
We don't have time for Q&A.
Oh, okay, don't Q&A. Well, or at least keep it quick. All right.
So, today we're doing Fishing Planet.
Fishing Planet?
Fishing Planet. It's a fishing game.
Okay. Do you have Steam on that thing?
I do, but I don't have it logged up.
So as of when I left the house, I checked what my playtime was for Fishing Planet. It was at 6 hours.
Okay, Lance, could you please start the footage?
All right.
Oh, it's happening, Mr. Producer, Mr. Producer! Nobody heard that. Beat that shit out. Beat that shit out.
Mr. Producer.
I had a great time with Fishing Planet.
All right.
So the first thing you do when the game loads is this comes up on your screen.
Yes. You can ignore most of it.
That's a good way to start a game,
It's early access. It's all right.
How do I close that?
It's F1.
Huh.
What?
So then I went back to playing Cat Loves Fish Goes Fishing.
This isn't the game.
Lisa's been playing this on my phone all week. I've actually went back and gave it another shot.
Okay.
So I'll let that go. So yeah, it's first person fishing. I didn't actually expect it to be first person.
Yes.
It's kind of cool. Well, it looks alright. I think this is before I turned up the settings to even higher. I think it's pretty enough. It's gone there. So it has all the excitement of casting out a line and then
You wait.
waiting there.
What?
You know what you can do?
What?
Got a mobile phone, you can play Cat Goes Fishing at the same time.
It's like real fishing.
So really,
it's trying to capture the fishing experience.
it's really good here. Just waiting for a fish.
You go. It's
Oh!
Tiny bluegill.
Because this is the tutorial still, James.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. So finally a tutorial, I can go in, I can give myself some worms, because that's what you get. And then I'll click on this tools and equipment button.
Yeah.
And so at this point, this is probably about the 12th time I've reached this point of the tutorial, of which you must catch 3 ultra boring, pointless fish each tutorial.
Yes.
And then you reach this section where you get to wait until the server times out and kicks me out of the game. I get to play the tutorial for the 15th fucking time. And then I play Cat Goes Fishing because it's a real fun game.
So you didn't get any further than this?
Once. Once this screen loaded, I attached the thing and then it went to load the next level and it never finished loading the next level. But I went back to Cat Goes Fishing. I got a fish already. I'm throwing it back to catch a bigger fish.
Nice.
I think I'm going to get a mustard fish this time. Yeah, I'll get that mustard fish. Oh, yeah. Look at this game. Instant gratification and fishing. Great game. Cats Goes Fishing. Fantastic. So that's my review of Fishing Planet. All right. The servers don't work.
Yeah, so all right. When I mentioned that 6 hours, of that time I have played maybe an hour because I've lost my computer to Cheryl's mum, who loves the crap.
Just as a general question, because obviously that was my experience. Did you have any server timeouts?
Oh, all the time.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
so it's not just me.
It is early access, so there are some technical issues.
The fact that you can't skip the fucking tutorial after you've done it 15 times.
Yeah. So
I was very mad.
There is a lot of depth in this game. Mm-hmm. If you are into fishing, you have an interest in fishing. There is a lot here for you.
I've never been interested in anything more.
So, I mean, to things like you need to decide like the length of where the bobble goes on the line, because if you put it into shallow water because you want to get a certain kind of fish, which you have to be at a certain time of day.
Bobble?
With a certain kind of bait, with a certain kind of hook.
Is it called the bobble?
I think it's called a bobble. I don't know.
I just like putting the doubt in his mind.
Yeah. What's that called? It's a gaslighting? I think there's a term for it. Where you deliberately make someone doubt their own...
It's not just negging. I'm trying to pick you up.
Not negging. It's some other form of horrific abuse.
Goodness gracious.
So if you... Okay, so I think the reason why Cheryl's mum really got into this is because she's a Buddhist. Yeah. So she doesn't want to go hurt things. All right? It's part of the thing. But so when given the opportunity to fish on a big TV, where like you get that kind of experience, was really appealing to her. That completely surprised me. I didn't expect that to happen, but she really got into it. And they've got this community thing. You can see like there's a chat window in the bottom here.
I hope it's just like obviously there's an automated player caught this, but I just want it to be just this random string of people just going caught a fish.
Yeah, but no,
I caught a fish.
The random chat, like that random thing, works really well because it does stimulate conversation.
Yeah. You know what? If it was real fishing, you know what that would do?
What?
That would go. If you are typing in there, it would put vibrations down the line and scare the fish away. Because when I would go fishing with my uncle, he'd never take me again. He's like, Paul won't shut the fuck up and scares away all the fish. You're supposed to sit there in silence I'm like,
it's a good exercise for you.
but it's boring.
Yeah, you got to sit there and take in nature.
You mean I've got to not talk for a brief period of time?
You're left alone with your thoughts. Paul.
What I love is when I go back and like look at these shows and everything. I try to balance. Like I try to look at the audio or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I've got a level of me talking. Now I'll find an example of someone else speaking. Like, scan.
James said something at some point.
Oh, but it's about Destiny. I don't care. So yeah, you like the chat. You like. Are there many other environments other than this swamp of sadness?
There are. So you level up your fishing skills, and you go to different areas, and it costs money to go to different areas. You have to pay per day. When you go there, you then earn fish, or catch fish to earn money to go to other places. So there's a pretty big game there. It's one of those things I put in the categories of games not for James, but if you're into this kind of thing, it's going to scratch that fishing itch.
Your games for James's de facto mother-in-law?
Yeah, that category.
It's a pretty full category.
It fits in there pretty well.
Just that and that new Robert Yang game where you get to wash men in the shower.
Oh man, I need to play that.
You haven't played that yet. Stay tuned next week.
Next week, get ready.
Robert
for that.
Yang's getting in on this.
Robert Yang, his stuff's great.
He's a beautiful man.
Look, to be honest, if I wanted to go do some in-game fishing, I probably prefer just to go into World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm.
Like that like has the depth of fishing that I want in my fishing game.
Yeah.
Which is I stand at the shore and I click the button when when it's time to pull it in, and that's the whole game. Where this actually is like, no, you need to learn how to cast, what hooks to use. I didn't really see much in the way of paywalls because I didn't really get far enough into it to kind of see. I wanted to change my shirt because you have like
how do you see your shirt?
Well, you got the plaid. You can see the sleeves.
Okay.
And I thought it was a missed opportunity. You couldn't select your gender. Like, why not? It's just changing the hand model.
How do you know what gender the hand is?
They're pretty mannish hands.
That's sexist.
It's not. They're mannish hands.
You're a monster. Actually, I just needed to cough. Yeah. I've been holding it in for ages. Yeah. I need to do some more. Okay, so does that wrap up World of Fishing?
I have made a note that the sign up was very easy.
It's true. Although they didn't let me put my first choice.
What was your first choice? What did you try to go in as?
It was just like, I don't know.
Oh, what?
Elton John sang this song or something. He couldn't have spaces in the name. It was really good. Okay, so World of Fishing.
We're fishing.
That's not the name, James. That's a joke because you wanted World of everything. It's called Fishing Planet.
Fishing Planet, World of Planet
You're
Fishing.
the game on that played it.
Tales of Fishing.
I just got sad. Tales of Fishing. Oh God, my need to cough is making me even squintier and my voice so wheezy. Next week we'll be playing Douse. It's a little platformer where you're a raindrop or something. It's on the DigiPen Games website. DigiPen, the institute for some people that sometimes made a game. It's not the best tagline.
No.
They should take it on. Fishing Heart 2.9. That'll be fantastic. Okay. So that pretty much wraps us up for today, James. We're technically overtime, except we're not on a network, so it doesn't really matter. We're just on the internet.
Yeah, we can do what we want.
Yeah. What do you want to do?
I don't know. You like my level? Thanks for the feedback.
Yeah, I gave James some feedback because he's
some constructive feedback.
Yeah,
it was good.
Because that is actually because you can put them in. How long can you leave a note on someone's level? Is it just the normal restriction of the Miiverse post?
I actually don't know how the notes go on. Because it's one of the Dark Souls-esque things that it does is that there will be notes around your level. So people say like give you hints and things like that of how to play it. Not 100% how to do that because I actually spend most of my time making levels, not playing levels.
Actually, I might enjoy the game as a critic.
Okay. One of the criticisms is that people say it's full of crap. Because there is a lot of crap in there. But I would say most levels I play, there is some interesting idea in there.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, and I don't want to be a dick to people because probably there's a lot of kids in there too.
It's very positive.
But the thing is, you want to give positive feedback. It's like, this is good. This is like, to give a direct example, James's level that he built was built on wall jumping, and he directed everything with coins. So basically, you knew when you had to jump because you hit a coin, and it would teach you how to wall jump if you didn't know, which is great. But that persisted the entire length of the level, where you do want to teach someone and then you want them to do it themselves. So like, well, you've done the guidance well, but take some of the guidance out as you go along to make the level more interesting, and then perhaps break that pattern in a few different ways. Be good if there's worlds, but it's not. Anyway, so it's that, and criticism is very important in creative industries. You've got to be able to say things without being an utter dick.
Yeah, where if anything, it's probably a little bit too positive. Like it's like that's what it really lacks for me at the moment, is that there's not good tools for teaching you good level design. Like there's tools for teaching you to do a gimmick to get upvotes. It started as the critic. I'll enjoy it as a critic, throwing gag, and then the more it's like, you know what? If you could actually become like an authorized critic, for Nintendo Super Mario Maker. Yeah, it's like a critic has taken interest in your level. Would you like to receive feedback? That would be Yeah, it could be. Yeah, let's do it. Let's make our own thing on YouTube. You just can't show any of the levels. It'll just be post-it notes all the time. That's what you get. I finished Zeo Drifter on the Vita. You finished I was really into that. Zeo Drifter. It was that little Metroid like mini game. Tried to play it. Really runs hard. Out of steam. Really? Okay. Because I just found it kind of hard. Well, you are a bad platformer person. I am terrible platformer. It's not that hard. Every boss is just a variation on the same boss that just adds more patterns. That's not too bad. But the thing that really excited me was that ability to craft your own guns with the points. There's no real need to use it. Oh, really? It's just like you find the good one and stick with that? I just up the power until I've upped all the power, and then I just put the points in anything else. Yeah. Because it kills things faster, and you can shoot everything with a direct shot. So they didn't use the mechanics interestingly. They needed more interesting enemies and environments to take advantage of the other mechanics, which they didn't do, which is unfortunate. And actually, I think we should do more of that coming back when we play, because we give, normally what we do on this show is impressions of the first chunk of game, how much we could do, because we go through a lot of things. And those impressions do change over time. So while I was recommending that to people, in fact, I think I even picked it as my big thing that week. I was kind of disappointed with it at the end of the day. I've been playing less Metal Gear. Metal Gear seems like it requires investment. Well, there's a lot more game in there now, and I'm not sure if that's what I ever wanted in Metal Gear. That's what I always said. Yeah, like when I remember Metal Gear Solid 4, and 3 as well, it reached a point where I'm like, you know what, I just want to get through this. I just want it to be Chip's challenge with a funky story. Yeah, and I feel Metal Gear 5 is really trying to force me to play a game. And I want the craziness, and I want to get through it. I would, if there was an option to say just turn Chicken Hat on all the time, please. Plus it looks good. Not even Chicken Hat, I want the little Chicken Hat. There's a little Chicken Hat? Yeah, it's like when you suck at the Chicken Hat, they give you the little Chicken Hat, which is, you just can't be seen. There was one level I was really struggling with. I was just like, I failed over, and I got the Chicken Hat. I'm like, I can't even get it with the Chicken Hat. And it's like, look, James, Hideo came up on the screen. It's like, we need to talk. Okay, just wait a second. There's another hat. Did he actually? Because that would have been the best. It's Metal Gear, so it's totally that would have been the best. Like, Hideo appears on the screen. Look, there's another hat we didn't mention called the Little Chicken Hat, which is when you're so terrible at the game you can't even get past the Chicken Hat. You just get this. You get no points, but I don't care. I just want to get through the stupid level. No Point James. Yep. That's your gangster name. 2-Trip Paul. 2-Trip Paul. Maybe 3-Trip Paul next week. Okay, so before we finish up, James, it's time for that part of the show. Yep. I don't know why I looked directly at the camera when I addressed you. I should have gone, James. Hey, buddy. What's your pick of the show? Pick of the show, man. I don't know. There's some cool stuff. Taken King now. Taken King. Thank you. Even though Taken King I did quite enjoy. Look, I actually really liked the look of Legacy of the Elder Star. Yeah. It looked like a lot of fun. It looked like the kind of game I just casually play a little bit. That's why the price point I'm not that big on. But mechanically, I think that looked pretty darn fun. So I'm going to go with that. Legacy of the Elder Star. Cool. I think you have to go with World of Warships! Oh, man! Cha-ching. World of Warships! World of Warships! More trips to Sydney! Yay! Ethics Thank you for watching FMVGames. We are 8.5 bit. We'll see you next week. 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Australia. Catch us on streamslive.tv. World of Warships. Got in my hand.
Hello, future.